right, welcome to Funding Graduate School. My name is Jennifer, and I'm a graduate of CSUB's Master of Arts program in History. I am pleased to introduce Ms. Kimber Wellman, the CSUB Scholarship Coordinator and Financial Aid Advisor. Thank you for joining us today, Ms. Wellman. Please turn on your camera and say hello.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. All right, I'm going to go through a presentation, you guys, on financial aid for graduate students. So it'll probably take about 15-20 minutes, and then we should have time for some questions and answers. If you have questions that come up as we're going, please throw them in the chat, and then we'll get back to them as soon as we're done with the presentation, okay? As Jennifer mentioned, my name is Kim Wellman. I am the scholarship coordinator and a financial aid advisor here at CSUB. I also received my bachelor's and my master's both here at CSUB as well. Okay. So the first thing I want to say is, yes, you can. You can go to graduate school. You can go where you want to. Planning, preparing, and you've heard about testing already. All of that is so important to get you where you want to go. That's going to take you to the career and future that you want to have. So some of the topics that we're going to talk about today are application and testing fees. I'll just touch on that briefly. I know it was covered in some of the earlier breakout sessions. Published cost versus out-of-pocket cost. This is a topic when you're working on your undergraduate degree, but it's a much bigger topic when you're working on your graduate degree. Financial tools that you have available to you now, and then the financial aid process and what that looks like as a graduate student, both at CSUB and anywhere else that you are looking at going. Okay, application fees. Planning ahead so that you're ready to start applying to graduate schools is so important. In most cases, you're going to be applying to more than one campus, and then you're going to have testing fees on top of that. So planning ahead to make sure you have the resources available to apply where you want to apply is key. Every school is different. Some, and they're few and far between, have no fees to apply. Some are all the way up to $175 per application or more. I've seen some that are more. Most fall into the $50 to $85 range. For the CSU system, for a graduate student right now is at $70. Some common testing fees are listed there also. The GRE at $205, the GMAT at $250, the LSAT at $200. I know if you were in Adrienne's breakout group for the GRE, for sure, she talks about waivers available or discounts available that you can get through CSUB if you apply through the Graduate Student Center. Most campuses will have something similar. A lot of them will have something similar. So no matter what school you're looking at, I really encourage you to reach out to them directly as well, to see what they might have available to offer as far as testing fee assistance if you're applying to their campus. Please always contact them. It doesn't hurt to fill out the paperwork and apply. The big takeaway from this portion is to estimate your budget and cost ahead of time, so you know you know how to look at what you're going to be paying out of pocket to apply and to complete the necessary testing for the programs that you're interested in. Okay, published cost of attendance versus out-of-pocket cost. So when you go search a school online, you're going to see their published tuition. You will probably also find a cost of attendance estimate that includes housing, transportation, food, supplies, and it's going to vary a lot by campus. Some schools have FAFSA eligible aid for graduate students, some may not. Private campuses and some of the larger nonprofits are also going to have aid available that you won't know about until you apply and try. So while the bottom line costs might say $40,000, your out-of-pocket might be $10,000, and every case is going to be unique. So don't not apply to some of those pricier schools just because of the tuition price tag. Make sure that you do your work, do your research, and find out what your out-of-pocket cost will most likely be. Most campuses now have available online something called a net price calculator. We have one here at CSUB for undergraduates, but most campuses will have those available. You can plug in your salary, your house size, your housing plans, and it will help generate an estimated, and this is estimated, but estimated out-of-pocket expense. So that's what you're looking at paying directly after your aid has applied, after any loans that you might decide to use have applied to your tuition and fees. Okay, here's an example of what a cost of attendance budget might look like. This is our graduate budget here at CSUB, and every campus will have at least three different cost of attendance budgets. So if you take a look at the one on the screen, you'll see that the living with parent budget is the least because your housing costs are going to be reduced if you're living with parents. And then there's on campus and off campus. And again, this is CSUB specific, but this is an example of the kind of information you can find online for any campus that you're looking at attending, for any university. This information will be out there, okay? And these are estimates. In most cases, the only cost that is a direct cost that is set is the tuition and fees. Everything else is just an estimate for you to help gauge the kind of funds you're looking at needing to attend school. Okay. Bigger picture, the career that you're looking at, you want to take a look at what's the earning potential difference for a bachelor's versus a master's degree. So this is just an example, and this is from here in California. So if you look at the business administration, the differential between the two degrees is over 27,000. If you look at computer science, the differential is 14,000. So when you're looking at the cost of going to graduate school and what you can expect as potential return in your career, there are a lot of tools out there. These listed are some of the best ones I have found that you can use to estimate what your earning difference might be in a particular area based on the career that you're looking at. Again, this is just good to help you kind of get an idea of what the earning potential is for that degree in your career. Hey, financial aid. If you're looking at graduate school, hopefully by now you already know it all starts with the FAFSA or DREAM Act application. And the DREAM Act is specific here to California for those who are not eligible for the FAFSA. FAFSA opened yesterday, you guys, for 22-23. So you want to get on that and get it completed and done as soon as you can. And I'll talk about why the sooner the better here in just a little bit. But the applications opened yesterday, October 1st. The priority deadline here in California is March 2nd. Every state might have a different priority deadline. So if you're looking at attending in a different state, I put the link there for the resource where you can find out what the priority deadline is for whatever state you're looking at attending in, okay? The reason I say the sooner the better, and I'm just going to use CSUB as an example. Grants for graduate students are pretty limited in the CSU system. CSUB, we are very lucky and blessed in that we have state university grant available for graduate students. A lot of CSUs do not. There are way more students who are eligible than there are funds available. So when we go start awarding state university grant for the next year, we're going to look at the highest need students and we're going to start sorting them by the date they completed their FAFSA. So if you did your FAFSA, even if it was before March 2nd, let's say mid-February, we might run out of funds available by the time we're awarding the January applicants. So, and that's not cut and dry, and it changes every year, but the sooner the better. It can increase your potential of getting any campus's limited funds. Okay. Types of aid available, and this is here. Some of these are CSUB specific, but federal student aid programs, these are all based off of the FAFSA. So graduate professionals, this is your master's and doctorate students. You'll always be offered, as long as you haven't hit your loan limits as a graduate student, up to $20,500 in unsubsidized loans. Credential students, it's a little bit different because you can still be considered dependent on your parents, depending on your age and some other requirements. Credential students can still get up to $5,500 in subsidized if there's room in their budget. And then independent credential students can also get an additional $7,000 in unsub. State programs in the CSU system, there is state university grant available like we talked about. And if you see right there, it's $7,176 is the maximum award. That's a lot of money towards your fees. So if you're attending full-time as a master's student, that covers $3,588 per semester, and it leaves you about $900 to pay out of pocket. So again, get those FAFSAs done as soon as possible. If you're in the MBA program, you can also be charged an additional $270 per unit. There is a grant available to help cover that extra $270 available that's charged as well. The MBA grant program is also a limited fund with more students eligible than funds available. So again, that FAFSA timing can be important. CSUB, the Graduate Student Center, also offers a Graduate Equity Fellowship Program, and the awards can vary. You can see the range there from $500 up to $3,000. DREAMAC students who are attending master's programs, credential, are also eligible for state university grant and private loans. But unfortunately, you're not eligible for the federal loans and aid programs discussed at the top of the slide. Okay, grants will vary by state. And as a potential graduate student researching other campuses, if you're looking out of state, things you want to be very aware, the grants will vary. You need to do your research and find specific information to the campus you're looking at. Also, fees are different. If you're attending a state-based school out of state, you're charged as a non-resident, which can have a huge impact on the fees. So just make sure that you're looking at all the variables, talk to the campus you're going to go to, and get numbers that can give you a clear estimate. Here at CSUB, we're in the process of updating to a brand new scholarship portal, but you guys are getting a sneak peek. That link right there is up and running, and you can use that now to search a database of several thousand scholarships that are offered outside of CSUB. These are external scholarships that you can apply to and take to any campus, anywhere you're going if you're awarded. So again, that application is up and running. I highly encourage you to hop on, and if you're going to answer, I think 5 to 10 questions, and then it will start matching you with scholarships you could be eligible for. Some you might even be eligible for still for the current year. Can't hurt to take a look. So we will have our CSUB portal up and running by early January if you're attending at CSUB. And those will be for 22-23 awards, and the priority deadline is March 2nd, just like the FAFSA. So just some key pieces on receiving aid, and this is not just at CSUB, but anywhere. Make sure you've done, again, your FAFSA or DREAMAC. You must be admitted, or at least conditionally admitted into the program before we can actually disperse your aid. You must be enrolled at least half-time, okay, and that's for loans and most grants. So at CSUB, that's 3 units for master's students and 6 units for credential students. You must be meeting SAP, satisfactory academic progress. And then just kind of a side note, here on campus, if you're receiving a refund and sign up for direct deposit through Bank Mobile, you get it up to 2 weeks faster than if you wait for a check to be mailed to you. Okay. The campus, the CSU system is paying for the iGrad online tool to be available to you. So it's a tool I think a lot of students don't know about, but it's an amazing tool. Please go hop on it, log in, see what sections might pertain to you, what you could benefit from. It's got everything from budgeting and planning to how to raise your credit score to information on car loans, again, monthly budgeting, just some great resources that are available to you through the iGrad online tool. Hey, there's the direct contact information for the financial aid office at CSUB. So this is if you are a CSUB student or you're interested in coming to CSUB, there's some direct contact information for our office. We are on campus. Our front counter is open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. Okay, and then there's my direct email. If you're looking at attending somewhere else besides CSUB and you want help with scholarships, maybe how to put together a good scholarship essay, depending on what they're asking, or some more outside resources, you're welcome to email me no matter where you're going if I can help you in any way. So please don't hesitate to reach out. There's so many resources, scholarship search engines out there. You should never have to pay to apply for a scholarship. There should never be a fee. They should also not ask you to sign over your submission for their use. Posting your winning entry on their website is one thing, but to ask you to sign over the rights to your submission is something else, because then they can use it for their advertising in any way they want and not benefit you, the person who created it. So that's just a key to watch out for other things that might look like legitimate scholarships, but are not. So I am going to go ahead and close the slide presentation and see if we have any questions.
Great. Thank you so much, Ms. Wellman. Valerie, are there any questions in the chat?
We have. Okay, if we plan to attend a Doctor of Physical Therapy graduate program, they may be planning to attend a Doctor of Physical Therapy graduate program in 2023. Would FAFSA still need to be done this current cycle that just opened up on October 1st?
So the cycle that just opened up will cover fall 22, spring 23. So if you're not planning on starting until fall 23, that would be the 23-24 FAFSA. That will open up next October. Did that answer the question?
Okay, we have another question. If a student is only eligible for CADA, C-A-D-A-A, and has already used their 4 years, what other types of state financial aid is available?
So with the California DREAM Act, state university grant is something that is available to you, and it changes if you change programs, but it's a unit limit. It's not based on how many years. State university grant is a unit limit with an income ceiling. So you could still be eligible if you're needing to take a 5th year to finish your undergrad. If that's what the question is asking. If it's not, please let me know. But you can still use it all the way up to 150 units. And then once you start a credential program or a master's program, there's different limits. It starts all over with state university grant. If you're a Cal Grant recipient and you're going into the credential program, a lot of students don't know, but Cal Grant will often approve you for 1 more year as a credential student, and the amount goes up to cover those credential fees. So if you're looking at a credential program and you're a Cal Grant recipient, please reach out to me. I can send you the link. It is a separate application that you have to do with Cal Grant, but that's almost $8,000 a year in the award to help cover your credential program.
Sounds good. We do have a question from Yvette. We will be posting this information on the GSE website. It's going to be in a few different locations. I believe we're going to try to get this out for all the participants as well, those who are registered. So yes, you will have plenty of options to find this information again.